Hi, this is Majin Oni, and I think this is the direction I'm heading towards with the 52 relaunch of what books I'm going to keep and what books I'm not. This pile is the drop pile. Now, there's a couple titles in here which never will have a hope of ever going to my pull list, like Hawk and Dove, as long as Life Feels drawing it. But there's other titles like Blue Beetle, Static Shock that might make it. Batman the Dark Knight, it's over here because I cannot stand the inconsistency of Finch's drawing of Bruce Wayne. It's driving me crazy when I look at it. And if I'm just hoping that this title stays out of the continuity of the other titles, because then it's going to make this drop so much easier. So, as you can see, there's quite a lot. But this is... yeah, I think this is a healthy drop pile. Now let's take a look at some of the ones that are in the middle, either one way or the other. We have Demon Knights first. Now, I like the concept, I thought the issue was refreshing, but I think what I really want to do is I want to make sure that it's going to stay solid. So, while I think I will keep it on my pull list, it's going to be like on this watch list for at least a year. And as long as it keeps up my interest, then it's definitely going to stay on this side. And I'll actually probably give this a little leniency, and I'll maybe give it more patience, I guess I can say, to have the story develop, in case it starts slipping a little bit. But I do enjoy it. Grifter, I understand this is an origin issue. And actually, an origin issue, maybe that was the wrong word. It's basically they're telling the story of Grifter as he's becoming Grifter. So I want to see how that develops before I drop it. So I'm hoping by the third issue they'll give us a little better idea of what's going on. Frankenstein, I don't know. I like the horror aspect of it, but I want to see more before I make my final decision. Hawkman, I like brutal Hawkman. It's not brutal. It's very close to being dropped. But I'm going to wait for the second issue. If it doesn't go in the direction I'm hoping it's going to, it will be dropped pretty quick. But it's still, I know, the sad thing is there's some of these issues I think it's a refreshing change. But when you have 52 books you got to go through, just because it has a refreshing change, it's like, I can't keep it. And that's the problem. iVampire. I like the concept. I like the Jay Lee style artwork. I don't know if it's going to keep my interest, though. I think what's going to happen is DC's going to play it safe, and they're not going to keep up the horror side of it. It's something, instead of being horror good, it's going to be horrible, and it'll eventually end up on the drop pile, or they're not going to finish the story, because people aren't going to buy it. So for the most part, it's in the middle right now. All-Star Western should be over here. It's a fantastic read. I don't like Westerns, though. So when I need to get comfortable with the concept of reading a Western, if I do, it's going to stay over here. But, which is sad, because this really is a well-written book. If this pile was a lot smaller, I think the decision to go over here would be a lot easier. Teen Titans, this thing can become really good or horribly bad. And what I really wanted, before I make my decision, I would like to see more of the characters, the new characters, before I choose one way or the other. And I want to see how Superboy is going to fit into this. The recent changes that they're making with the creative team behind Superman kind of scares me. I don't really like Superman as a character that much, just because he was just too powerful, and it looked like they just kept making trying to find excuses as to how to beat him, try to beat him type thing, but he's too powerful. As it stands now, it's in the middle. I don't know where it's going to go. And if it becomes a drop book, it's just mostly because I don't like Superman. But what does interest me is the relationship between Clark and Lois. And I can see really good angst and good drama between those two. So that's what's, I think, the main thing that's appealing to me to make me want to keep it. I mean, come on, after all, wouldn't you feel good watching Clark just get dumped over and over again? I would. Okay, Voodoo. This is not a great read. I'm going to come right out and say it's not that great. But I am curious to see what's going to happen in the next issue. So, depending upon that next issue, if it catches my interest, then I'll probably keep it. But this is going to be on a short lead, so we'll see where this goes. OMAC reminds me of Savage Dragon, which, of course, reminds me of Jack Kirby type thing. I like the level of violence and destruction. I'm curious, and we'll see where it goes. I'll know about the third issue if I'm going to want to keep this or not. Catwoman, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of interesting to me, but I don't know how long it's going to keep my interest. So, we'll see. I know I don't have enough books with women pulling their zippers down, so that's another appealing aspect of it. But we'll see where it goes. Now for the keeps. Okay, I like Action Comics. I like the fact that this is a fresh take on Superman. This is a Superman who's learning his abilities. This is Superman who hasn't become the Boy Scout yet. This is the Superman that is going to make mistakes. This is the Superman that's going to learn along the way. And I think I'm going to be on this ride as long as Grant Morrison is writing it. The minute he drops off, I think my interest is going to fade pretty quickly. So, for right now, this is definitely a keep. Animal Man was a fantastic read. And, again, it was just so interesting. In a way, and I know this is going to turn off a bunch of you guys, this reminds me of a manga, because it doesn't act like a superhero title. And I really, really like it. So, this is definitely going to be on the keep pile for right now. Aquaman, I like the way how Jeff Johns makes fun of Aquaman. I like the piranha monsters. Will I like Aquaman as a character without piranha monsters 6 months from now? I don't know. Depends who he fights. So, for right now, though, this is a book I'm actually kind of excited to read, and I hope it, okay, part of me hopes that it keeps my interest, another part of me is going, you fool. You need to lose interest in this book because you need to make this pile smaller. So, we'll see where it goes. Justice League Dark. I like the horror aspect, and I really want to see where this is going to go. I don't necessarily like all the supporting characters, but I think it could be interesting. And this first issue, while it maybe wasn't a complete work of art like some of the other titles, it has captured my interest, and I hope that this will continue to be good. Anytime you end a book with this type of picture, it is going to be on the keep pile. Stormwatch. I love Stormwatch. Ever since it was an Image, Wildstorm, I loved the Warren Ellis run of Stormwatch, and I like the fact that they're keeping this thing going, with them fighting the moon. I'm really wanting to see what they're going to do next on this. I like the fact how they have a team that's potentially more powerful than the Justice League, and they're not working in the light, so to speak. So this is definitely going to be the keep. Justice League, you have to get it. You know, this is the key to how all the characters interacted at the beginning. I'm curious to see where they're going to go once we go past this storyline. But at least for right now, this is definitely going to be a keeper. Now, the one thing I do have faith about Justice League is somewhere, maybe 2 years from now, somebody's going to get a fantastic idea. Let's tinker with the lineup, and once they tinker with the lineup, it's going to become a second-tier book. They're going to try to fix it again, and then that fix is going to make it a third-tier book. So I'm not holding my breath that this is going to be a great book, but at least for right now, I'm enjoying it. Swamp Thing, Scott Snyder did a really good job with this. You know, in a way, there's a part of it reminds me of a Vertigo book without being a Vertigo book. And I think there might be a time where I'm going to read this and go, okay, this is kind of boring me now. But at least for right now, it's on the keeper. I just definitely decided to keep Batwoman. I think the art is just fantastic. It's just, DC really has nothing like this book. And I know I'm going to hate myself if I don't keep getting this for right now. Suicide Squad. This was just a fun read. I think Suicide Squad's going to be one of those books that it's going to be an on and off again love relationship. But for right now, I'm enjoying it. Batman and Robin. I like the dynamic between Damian and Bruce. As long as they keep that up, this will be on the keep pile. Even though I don't like Ray Capullo's art in this, because I think there's certain things I just don't think he really captured the true like character of Bruce Wayne or the supporting cast. And but I think it was still interesting enough to want to read it. And for right now, this is definitely going to keep. And finally, Wonder Woman. This was pretty interesting. Everything just seemed to fit. At least from what I can tell, they finally got Wonder Woman right. And so for right now, this is definitely I'll keep it. And I'll probably re-examine it per story arc. But for right now, it's enjoyable. So anyways, this is my initial pick for my 52 books. And now that that's over with, I can put these all away and prepare for wave 2 of the next 52. So, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think about the first run. Which books are you thinking of keeping? And rate this video up if you like the relaunch. And I'll have more reviews later. So until next time.